Hi friends, hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello, hi, I need to really desperately talk about Wicked Part 2. I have so many thoughts, opinions, my glasses are so crooked. Thoughts, opinions, things I want to say about this movie as a person who grew up as a Wicked stan. And I have a bunch of notes about what I want to say about part 2 of this movie. And I thought we'd do a little get ready with me while I do that. So if you're interested in that, let's jump into it. So I got my pink and green going on today. I think we're just gonna start with something that matches my neck really well, like shades into my neck. Okay, like I said in the intro, I was a huge fan of this show. So it was not a surprise to me by any okay, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna be doing alphabet makeup today because I want to. The first thing I want to talk about in regards to these movies is the fact that the original songs that they wrote for the movie are bad. Sorry, let's talk about it. Girl in a Bubble or whatever it's called, and No Place Like Home, they're bad songs. They're bad original songs. Number one, they didn't match the pacing of the movie at all. The second act of Wicked I was already kind of nervous about these movies, to be perfectly honest, because the second act of Wicked is already a little bit slower and a little bit less exciting. It doesn't have as many of the like really memorable songs. I feel like a lot of the popular, no pun intended, but like a lot of the popular really memorable songs from Wicked are from the first act. The second act really only has, in my opinion, No Good Deed. I know people are gonna say Happier, but I don't consider that one of the like standout. You don't hear people blaring Happier and that watch the people are gonna be like, I blare Happier in my car. I'm sure you do. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't consider that one of the standout songs from the show. I would say the only two like bangers from the second act are No Good Deed, and then For Good is not necessarily like a banger, but it's definitely one of the more standout songs. But that's really all the second act has. This base is gonna be patchy, guys, and we're just gonna have to work with it. This is old Halloween face paint that my friend used when we were the Teen Titans for Halloween this year. So it's old and patchy, and anyway, we're working with what we have. So just to start out, like the second act doesn't have as many strong songs as the first act does. And I was already kind of nervous about how this was gonna go down, this whole I shouldn't have put that in my eye. What am I doing? First act has songs that are like Dancing Through Life, Defying Gravity, What Is This Feeling, Popular, I'm Not That Girl. It has pretty much every song. The first act is like a no-skip album, basically. Unless you're talking about Sentimental Man, because obviously skip her. But when you get to the second act, it's not like that. So when I heard they were adding 2 original songs, I was actually kind of excited because I was like, oh good, we need a couple more bangers in the second act. Like, I don't feel like it's as strong musically. So I was really hyped. And then for them to put in just these 2 boring, bad, like weirdly on the nose, like why did they have to be so on the nose lyrically? The beauty of like a lot of Wicked songs is that it's not necessarily super on the nose. They use a lot of like imagery and like interesting language, different ways to say, and in these songs were just like, there's no place like home. Guys, come fight for Oz, animals, because there's no place like home. And then the second song was just like, I'm just the girl in the bubble. She's literally a girl in a fucking bubble, and you're gonna give her a song called Girl in the Bubble, and that's supposed to pep up the second act? Are we kidding? Definitely a really big disappointment in that, and I was just kind of like bummed. Mostly because like I really was looking forward to seeing what new stuff they were gonna bring. Because they were so dead set when the first movie came out, they were like, we didn't want to change anything, we didn't want to bring anything up, like whatever, and then just with a clock tick, they I'm sorry, that was so funny. The whole movie, them being like, in a clock tick, and they kept sounding British when they said it. Anyway, so that was really funny. It bothered me that they never said that once in act 1, and then the second act they said it like a million times, and I'm like, you film these movies back to back. How the fuck did we not, how did we not sprinkle in at least a clock tick the first movie? Anyway, original songs were bad, they were disappointing. Moving on, next point. I gotta say, the first like hour of the movie, Ariana's acting and just the pacing of the movie in general felt both somehow too slow, like it was going way too slow and we weren't getting anything done, but it also just felt like everything was super, super rushed. Like I remember looking at my phone to see what time we were at, like an hour in, and I was like, wait, it's only been an hour? But I was also like, nothing had even happened yet. Elphaba and Fiyero hadn't even been reunited yet, and we were like an hour in, and we had just heard a bunch of like random songs. It was just like the pacing felt off, I think, and that was a little frustrating for me. And I gotta say, like, what else felt off was the fact that Madame Morble and Nessa Rose couldn't sing. Michelle Yeoh and Marissa Bode can't sing. I'm really sorry. They're at least they could not sing the part that was required for this role at like the level that everyone else was singing at. Like even Jeff Goldblum's singing in this was better than like what we were getting from Michelle Yeoh and Marissa Bode. It was actually like jarring to me that they got the parts that they did. I honestly feel not bad saying that, but like I kind of do feel bad because I don't think that it's even remotely like fair to them that they were even put in the position to be in this role and like sing this part when they so clearly can't sing it. Like, I don't think that's even fair that they were cast in these roles. All of the like press for this movie I've seen is Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo saying they were in like 3+ hour long auditions, or that they were going back and forth on auditions 45 times, singing all the different songs, singing all the different parts. And I'm like, you had those girls jumping through a billion ringers and hoops, doing all of that just so you could cast Michelle Yeoh, and she can't even remotely perform the part, the singing wise. And honestly, even her acting in this, I am a Michelle Yeoh fan. Like, this is not me being a hater of her, but the acting was lazy. I'm sorry. Like, she was phoning it in for this. And honestly, it's sad because something I always loved about Wicked on Broadway, like something that I've seen it a couple times on Broadway and I've seen the tours too, something I always love about the show is that everyone from the Elphaba down to like Flying Monkey number 7 is like the most talented person you've ever seen. Like, everyone is giving it 110%. Everyone is performing their ass off. Like, that is one of those shows that you go and see and every person is genuinely, it's like their dream job to be in that cast. So they're performing at a level that is so high caliber every time. And that's something that's so amazing and beautiful about the Broadway performances. But then Michelle Yeoh's performance, it was just so lackluster and so disappointing and lacked so much anything. Like, it was disappointing, honestly. I feel like she phoned it in. I'm gonna be totally real. Like, it was disappointing to say the least. Especially when there are so many Broadway vets who like would have slayed that part. I understand why they wanted Michelle Yeoh, but like, God, they would have just slayed the singing on that, like killed the singing. And it was just such a letdown. Yeah, big letdown to cast someone who is not known for singing and is honestly not the best vocally for this part. Like, that was just a huge letdown. I can't believe I'm talking this seriously about this while I look like this. Ethan Slater absolutely killed this performance. Like, I thought he did so good. I kind of knew he would because I've seen him in clips of SpongeBob. Did pretty well in that, so I was like, I figured he'd do really well in this, but he did a great job. This is what I'm saying. When you cast actual Broadway people, shit goes well. Like, Broadway people know how to act. Like, they know how to give. You have to be able to act your fucking ass off to be on Broadway. Like, of course that's gonna translate to a movie that's basically a Broadway musical. Of course, the actors that have been on Broadway are gonna know how to like absolutely serve and devour. I do have to say, No Good Deed slayed. It was amazing. I gotta say, No Good Deed literally absolutely killed. Like, I'll just go ahead and say it. It was the standout of the entire movie was No Good Deed. It just carried so heavy. Me and my best friend literally were like clapping in the theater, which I never do. We were applauding in the theater. It was that magical. Okay, we're gonna really pack on the screen here. But for how magical No Good Deed was, as long as Your Mine was just the biggest letdown. It was it was like sad. It was so sad. Like, I was so excited for it because I'm a huge Bridgerton fan. So, like, huge. So I've probably watched that show an embarrassing amount of times. Like, I am obsessed with Bridgerton. It's a comfort show for me at this point. Like, I've watched it a million times, especially season 2. Season 2 is one of my favorites, and I love Jonathan Bailey and Bridgerton. When I heard he was going to be Fiyero, I was so excited because I knew that for as long as you're mine, he was going to slay. I was like, he has that raw, like, sexual edge, like, shit that, like, is gonna kill this. Like, I just knew he was going to absolutely slay. So you can imagine my shock and absolute horror. I couldn't even see him on the screen because her cardigan was so fucking big that it was blocking everything. No, it was so truly and genuinely, like, disappointing and sad as long as you're mine. I know you guys, like, I know this looks like a gigantic mess, but you have to understand that from my perspective, this is like exactly what I wanted it to look like. I wanted pink and green, and that's what this is giving. Yeah, they had zero fucking chemistry. And my best friend, I went to go see this with my best friend because, you know, she's the alphabet to my Glinda. And we were just like leaving, and she was like, you know, that was just two gay people who like didn't want to be gay together. And I was like, fuck, like, you're right. There's more chemistry between Glinda and Alphaba, and fucking for good. They're like telling each other they're in love with each other during that scene, but we can't get Fiyero and Alphaba to just even kiss passionately. Like, God forbid, that would be crazy. I gotta say, for good, obviously, it made me sob like a little baby. I was hysterically crying. Obviously, I saw the movie with my best friend. I was hysterical. It was so beautiful the way they did it. I thought the singing, their way their voices mesh together is just insane. And that's the thing about this movie is like their talent honestly carries so much of this movie. Like the fact that Cynthia Erivo is just as talented as she is, and the fact that Ariana Grande is truly like, I don't care what people say about her in terms of like her attitude or whatever. That girl can sing. Like, she can fucking sing. And like their voices together sound beautiful. I thought they did a really great job with For Good. Here's my thing. I knew the second that Ariana Grande looked at that grimoire and it lit up, I knew they were going to be pushing for a third movie. And I was fucking right, because then shortly after I saw the movie, they were like, oh yeah, we'll never say never to a third movie. Like, who knows? Like, maybe we'll do a sequel. If they do a fucking sequel for Wicked, I'm gonna be legitimately mad. I'm not one of those people who like gets mad about things like that, because I'm of the opinion of the like, you can just go not see the movie. Like, it doesn't impact you at all if they create it. Like, if you hate it, just don't go see it. Like, whatever. No. I'm gonna be fucking livid if they create a third movie. I don't even really know why. I'm not even sure why I feel so passionately. I think part of it is just, there we go, there's the drama. She needed a little drama. I think part of it is just that I have grown up with the ending of Wicked being what the ending of Wicked has been my whole life. So like, this has been my entire existence, is just like, Wicked is the way that it is, and the ending is the ending that it is. The idea of them making a third movie and then like extending it, and also, you know why I think I'm also upset about it, is because the original songs were so bad that if the third movie is just more of those original songs and they like ruin all of the characters and they ruin all of this stuff, yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Like, I think I'd be pretty pissed off. These are some of my favorite characters of all time, and I think a lot of people are weirdly very protective of them because we love these characters. We grew up with them. We see so much of ourselves in them. Like, truly, and again, I'm not normally like this, but like Alphaba has gotten me through some like rough shit in my life. I'm sorry I'm disgracing her so much by doing this horrible makeup look for her, but like Alphaba's gotten me through some fucking bad shit in my life. Defying Gravity has gotten me through some bad shit in my life. If they ruin those characters and those songs and do her dirty with a third movie that is like terrible, I will legitimately be kind of fucking annoyed. So I really hope they don't do a third movie. If anybody from Wicked is watching, don't do a third one. I do want to briefly touch on the press tour and kind of the stuff that's been going on around the press tour. And this is what I'll say. A lot of people are criticizing Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo for being overly emotional and it almost coming off as like disingenuous or like they're like traumatized or something. And I do definitely see that. Like they're definitely being a lot. It's very extra, the behavior that's happening on the press tour. I will also say I was like a theater kid once, but the whole thing that people are being like, oh, well, they're just theater kids, but they're not kids anymore. Like, yeah, I was like that in my high school's production of Into the Woods when I played the witch. Like, I absolutely acted, if I had gone on a press tour at 16 when I played the witch in Into the Woods, that is exactly how I would have been acting. These women are not 16-year-old girls in a high school production. They are adults who just worked a job, basically. So I do think the overness of it is a little much, but I will say if I was playing Glinda or Elphaba in that movie, I would never shut the fuck up about it. I would talk about that for the rest of my life. That would be written on my tombstone that I played Glinda or Elphaba in the Wicked movie. So like, I also get it. I'm like, as a theater kid, I fucking get it. Like, more power to you. With that being said, I'm not gonna be talking about anything to do with anyone's bodies because I don't think it's appropriate ever. So that's my thoughts on that. And overall, I did like the movie. Like, I will watch it again. I'm probably gonna go see it in theaters again. I wanna go see it with my boyfriend. I really enjoyed the movie overall. I thought it was really beautifully done. Like, the cinematography, the costumes, the world building, like, all of that was great. But obviously, there's a lot to criticize on this one. A lot more than I had for the first one. I have a lot more kind of like side-eyeing to some of the creative decisions that were made on this one. But those are my thoughts. This is my Elphaba look. I hope you guys like it. This is Elphaba if she was an Instagram baddie. We could do a mandatory narcissistic montage. Yeah, we could. We have time left on the camera. Okay. Okay, that's gonna be it for me, you guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My social media and my social justice spotlight will be linked down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!